So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. My name is Rich Clark. As a guide to the right path, I'm a hypnotherapist and holistic therapist, and I'm going to talk about the last of these blends, which is black pepper. And what you're going to do is mix camphor, cinnamon, and black pepper to make a blend. But I'm going to talk about black pepper's spiritual connotations and how that works, and also how it works for the body. So first of all, black pepper is very good for easing aches, backs, and pain. It's an antiseptic, and it's very good for warming the blood and warming the body. So black pepper, why people used it in a lot of food was because it was to help invigorate the body, especially when people eat. Sometimes after a hard day they've worked, black pepper then invigorates them to just do more work when they need to. So it's spiritual symbolism, and there's a lot of things for black pepper. It was very much massive in the trade wars of spices, but it helps with the courage and strength. Traditionally, it's seen as what we call the warrior spice. So not the warrior meaning worry, I mean warrior like warrior. So it's a warrior spice. Black pepper fortifies the spirit and gives courage to face trials and tribulations. It's known as Dispeller of Darkness. So symbolically, it burns away evil, envy, and hostile energies. So this is why camphor, cinnamon, and black pepper, if it's burned at night, is really good when you're doing dreaming or astral travel, because it actually protects you while you're doing that. Also with anxiety, it also invigorates you to get out of the funk of what you're in. So it helps with the inner fight and persistence, which represents endurance, resilience, and determination when the path is long or difficult. In fact, actually having black pepper before you do running or doing any exercise is really good to get the most out of an exercise, or getting the most because it invigorates the body. So it's spiritual energetics compared to camphor, which is all about the crown and the third eye. And then obviously cinnamon was about the solar plexus and the sacral. Black pepper goes more to the root. So it actually works with the root chakra quite a lot because it grounds the spirit, but it also fires up willpower and determination, which is what the solar plexus is, because it's connection to who I am. But root is connection to the ground. It's connection to the ground of the earth. Because remember, the root chakra is always about the earth chakra, and the crown chakra is about the universe. So the more you balance them out, it helps balance you to connect better spiritually. As an aura cleaner, it cuts through psychic fog, sluggish energy, and fear-based attachments. Its alertness and awareness sharpens perception, and it heightens your focus and clears the way for decisive action. So traditionally and in cultural beliefs, Ayurvedic wise known as maricha. So if you actually hear the word maricha, that means black pepper. It's a sacred space that kindles agni. So agni is your digestive and spiritual fire. So balancing the agni is good. So for example, what overstimulates agni is onions and garlic. So there's a lot of people like myself. I don't have garlic and onions in my diet as much as I can because I find it overstimulates my agni. But black pepper, that actually works better. An example I'll give you that black pepper, why I've shared some things recently is actually I had to have black pepper when I went to the Nadi astrology temple, because what it does, it stimulates the spiritual fire. So once I was there, I was much more connected to what was in that spiritual realm of that Nadi astrology temple in the Koli temple. So it helps purify the body and mind as well. So Ayurvedic wise, black pepper is very useful. And it's why it's used in a lot of Indian food. For folk magic, which is dating back many, many years, it's used in protective sachets and sprinkled as thresholds to keep away evil spirits, jealousy, and curses. For trade and wealth symbolism, once so valuable it was called black gold, pepper spiritually resonates with prosperity and power. So cinnamon and black pepper have got a lot of things together, are very, very strong for that, for the wealth side of things. And wealth is not just always about money, it's about well-being. So the camphor is actually very good to open that up for you. But the actual grounding of that is actually then the black pepper and cinnamon. And you need that because camphor does open you up quite a lot. So psychological and hypnotherapy links is dispelling fear and procrastination. So it aids clients in breaking through hesitation, avoidance, and self-doubt, which is really good for people with anxiety, especially if they've got OCD anxiety or PTSD. The other one is courage and transformation. So it supports these entering major life changes or healing crises. So again, if people are dealing with the next transition when they're dying, so if you're dealing with a dying or someone who's not very well, burning camphor opening to spirit world, and then actually having the cinnamon and black pepper really helps because it actually invigorates that more and gets more better connection. Helps like letting go the person in stuckness. So also with that, when we're looking at that, is the courage in that is the clarity of purpose, which cuts through mental fog, indecision, or paralysis by analysis, which is a kind of a cool idea. But paralysis by analysis is people who overthink. So a lot of people who have anxiety are overthinkers. So what they do is once they can do that, is the black pepper cuts through that. It literally helps you ground with the solar plexus to go, right, this is what I want to do. I need to be earthy. I need to know myself. Then with the cinnamon, that will also open the heart, open that up. So you get the emotional aspect of it. And then with the camphor, it opens up the third eye and the universe to ideas. So the practical ritual use for black pepper is its protective incense, burned with resins like myrrh or frankincense to banish negativity and create a spiritual fortified space. So I would say this, if you are thinking of doing a root chakra oil, this would be frankincense and myrrh would be great with that, and black pepper is useful. That's not the full recipe I use, but it's one of the things which actually is the base for you to create a fortified space and very useful for the root. So if you're doing a chakra massage, you would usually use, if you don't have these chakra oils, I would say you'd using frankincense, essential myrrh, and black pepper would really be good on the feet and up to the waist, because what it does, it would actually then ground the energy to actually then work more on getting rid of the issues with the body. It also works with the structural system as well. Now, as an empowerment oil, if you dilute it and apply it to the solar plexus or feet for courage and resilience before rituals or challenges. So again, if you actually have issues with your feet, invigorating that with frankincense and myrrh and black pepper really grounds the energy, and it also clears a lot of the issues with the lymph drainage, also if you've got swelling of the feet. As a spell catalyst for many things, is added to charm bags, offerings or candles to heat up and speed results. In fact, that's why the idea of when we say if black pepper made you sneeze and it said bless you, it was because the idea was because they had to say blessing, was because the idea is black pepper was actually getting rid of the devilment out of you. And this is why actually when witches were using black pepper, they actually had that issue as well. So they would say that witches using black pepper, but they were actually linked to evil, where actually black pepper is actually removing evil. It removes bad and purifies the body and removes evil detachments. Its house protection is peppercorn sprinkled at doors or windows to block envy and ill wishing. So black pepper is used across cultures, many around the world, and it's something what we now just use very liberally on our food, but it's actually got a lot of spiritual connotations. So with black pepper, it embodies the courage, protection, and clarity. It burns away fear, negativity, and spiritual heaviness, empowering the seeker to move forward, resilience, strength, and focus. So what I would suggest as a blend to help you, this will help you with, you can use it as a massage oil to help if you feel stuck or you feel stagnant. If you want to connect more spiritually via meditation, this is the advice I'd give you. So this would be, you'd use a base oil, something like almond oil or something, or rice bran oil. You can use sunflower oil if you don't like seed oils, but I think sunflower oil is really good too because it's really spreadable. Again, try and get organic if you can. And what I would do is this, is I would recommend you have at least to say 100 mils of that, which is quite a lot. I would say if you're doing that, make a big bottle anyway. So 100 mils, I would say you would use 5 drops of camphor oil, you would use 2 drops of cinnamon, and you'd use 2 drops of black pepper. So the 5, 2, and 2 means it's not, it's actually is 9. But I would say if you wanted to, I would reduce the camphor down to about 3 or 4 because it is very strong. It depends what the quality you get. So I would say if you do 4 and then 2 and 2 of the others, I'd make it the 8 drops and make that into 100 mils. Shake the bottle, and you do that like 8 times. And what you do is then you can use that as an oil. You put in an incense burner like this. Yeah, so you can put it in there. So this has got this has actually got myrrh. This has actually got camphor in it at the moment, and it's got black pepper. So you use that, put a candle underneath it. You can use it in a diffuser, and you can also help with everybody wants to connect. If you feel stuck or you want to help with creativity, use that in a room. If you want to as well, you can have a camphor. People do eat camphor. I wouldn't recommend it, but you could actually find actually a really good tea to help you with, or what we call a infusion, which would be camphor leaves, cinnamon, and black pepper. Again, cinnamon, you don't need much, and then you can do that as a blend. So hopefully that helps you. That would help you invigorate you, get rid of your anxiety, help you towards clarity, and hope that's really helpful for you. So until next time, I will be speaking about something which actually is more helping towards opening you up spiritually when you are stuck and you can't get inspiration. And that will be the next spiritual senses next week. Speak to you then.